Go. Oh, wait. Hi, guys. I think it's all guys in the chat at the moment.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Tim and Mike.
Hello.
Hello, Tim and Mike.
Tim and Mike. Yeah, Tim's been fogged out. Apparently, he said the whole Central Valley has a huge fog bank.
Oh, well, you should drink some of those fog cutters. They have a marvellous effect if you've been fogged out.
Yeah, you added your own.
Oh, there's
funny
Maid Marin. Hi, Maid Marin. That was the laugh of someone who's had a few fog cutters in his time. From Captain Nick. I've never had a fog cutter myself. Probably will never have one.
Well, we were trying to get a Singapore gin sling, but the barman couldn't make those. So, because we weren't in Raffles, it was the time we tried to go into Raffles, into the Long Bar, and drink a gin sling, but it was being restored. The hotel was being closed. It was being restored. So we went to the roof of the Hilton instead, and the guy said, "No, you don't want one of these. You want a fog cutter."
And the guy in Singapore, even though he wasn't at Raffles, couldn't do a Singapore sling.
Well, yeah, I think he might have been able to, but he's
trying to sell
persuaded
I got
us to
something
drink
better.
fog cutters. Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Donna Rose.
And he said, if you drink 3, I'll
And
give you the
Ernest.
4th for free. So we had 4 of
Did
these
you?
things
Oh, you
each.
had 4 each.
Oh, God, yes. I was.
So tell me what's in a fog cutter. What's in a fog cutter?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, well,
a lot of alcohol.
let me do some research here.
But yeah.
Yeah, staff.
Excuse me. I need to look this up now. Fog cutter.
Is that? I think that is that the drink that originated in San Francisco. I think
Don't know.
maybe, or I'm thinking maybe of another.
Is a
drink.
vintage tiki cocktail, frequently attributed to being invented by Victor Bergeron, that calls for, oh my God, a mixture of rum, brandy, and gin, the juice of lemons and oranges, orgeat syrup, syrup.
Not sure
I've
how
never
that's
heard
pronounced.
of that.
Yeah.
And to top it off, cream sherry.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
It is high in alcohol content.
That's probably why
You think?
he thought he was safe, saying, if you drink 3, I'll give you the 4th for
But
nothing.
he didn't know who he was dealing with.
We'd be flat on our backs after 3.
It has been called the Long Island iced tea of exotic drinks.
Oh, well, it was very exotic.
Was it served in a special fog cutter ceramic mug? It's supposed
No,
to
it
be.
wasn't. It was in a, typical Hilton hotel glass thing with, all sorts of paraphernalia sticking out of the top,
Wow.
which you had to fight through to get your mouth onto the
Yeah, I think
rim.
the guy that you were talking about there in the beginning of that article, I think he was the proprietor of Trader Vic in San Francisco.
Oh, was he? Okay.
I think. That sounds familiar to me.
I think that guy.
But there was another bar somewhere in San Francisco, Tim, that there was another drink invented, and I thought it had something to do with fog in the name, but I think it was more of a coffee drink, like an Irish coffee or something. I'm sorry to interrupt.
There. No, I was going to say something, but I can't remember now. The fog cutters have kicked in, and I can't remember. No, I think the guy in New Orleans had a few fog cutters. The guy with the parking garage.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
So I will go into the background, and you guys, you're going to introduce Captain Nick. Have a good show, you guys.
Yeah, ready when you are.
Okay, hang on. Wow, I guess she's ready to go.
She's gone. Ready to go and gone.
No, I can hear now. And Unity. Okay. All right. Thank you for. We missed that, Captain Nick. Thank you.
That was for because the poor people in the chat room won't be know, because they can't hear Liz. They won't know why I was doing that. They probably think I just have a screw.
I heard Liz, and I don't know why you're doing it.
She said she was watching us, so I thought, well, if you're watching,
Okay.
Yes.
That's it, Tim. Thank you. Yeah, the Buena Vista.
The yawning great chasm that is Captain Nick. Wow.
I have one of them. Now I have both of them running. Thank you, sir. And I do appreciate that.
You've set me off. I started yawning.
What? You're right, Liz. So no matter what time we do this, she said that you're going to be yawning.
Indeedy. Oh, yes.
Yes. Well, yeah. You can yawn for a variety of reasons, I suppose.
Yes. You can even have a Technicolor yawn.
Wait a minute. Oh, you know what? I was saying that video for the WestJet would be B-roll, but as I read the article, but there's really no article to read. It's just okay.
It shouldn't take us long to get through that.
No, we should be able to get through that one really quickly. Yeah, that was quick. When did the original thing happen? September 7th. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty darn quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I doubt that they were available down there.
It'll be about Patong. Patong
That's right,
is
Neil.
my latest desire,
Neil
not
Landauer.
bowling. Yeah. Well, certainly I have taken up Patong, but I've now been told I can't play for several weeks.
Well, you'll have to tell us more about that in the
shall.
Getting to Know Us segment.
Indeed. Actually, a lot of these sports are not ideal. Well, actually, there are huge crowds that do watch the really important petanque matches in France. But I don't consider them much of a spectator sport. It's much more fun playing. But I might go and join the boys for a beer. Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Jilly does if Andre, one of the other wives, is going to the pub. No, as it turns out.
Shall we?
Yes, anytime you want, sir.
Okay. Thinking about how to do this. I didn't think it was that funny.
Oh dear,
Wow.
sorry, it's just a look on your face.
Okay.
Oh.
Acting.
Yes, indeed.
Hello. I am back. A thespian. All right. Okay. I suppose we can start right now. And as I mentioned earlier, we have somebody joining us for part 2 from his Garden View studio in
Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
a retired professional dog shooter, former RAF, RAAF fighter pilot, unemployed Airbus A330, A340, exceedingly ex-senior captain for Virgin Over the Pond Airways. It's Captain Nick. That's just too much. I have to do
Yeah, I
something
know.
about
We should
that.
trim that down a bit,
Yeah.
along with my waistline, if you don't mind. This is show 688, isn't it, Jeff?
It is.
Well, there you go. Now, originally there was a Mark 5B model Spitfire. Not model, it's a 5B model, if you see what I mean. Anyway, it was a Spitfire.
That'll leave a mark.
Registration, Bravo Lima 688. Made in the Castle Bromwich factory and delivered to RF Cosford in 1942. It saw storied and extensive service history with various Allied units, including the US Navy. Well, how the hell they got hold of it, I don't know. And the Polish squadrons that were fighting with the British in the UK. It was attached to the 335th Eagle Squadron of the USAF, before it was the USAF. And later by 501 Squadron, where it was primarily flown by a free French pilot. It really had quite a distinguished career, but perhaps its most significant role was with number 63 Squadron and VCS-7 U.S. Navy during the D-Day landings in June 44. Flew numerous low-level forward air control sorties over Normandy beaches, spotting for naval gunfire support. Now, in 1945, after the war in Europe had finished, 688 crashed during a training flight near Bury in Lancashire, killing its pilot, a 20-year-old Polish sergeant, sadly. Now, the RAF recovered the remains and, it sat there in, I guess, the corner of a hangar somewhere until it was purchased by Parnell Aircraft Company, a British restoration group, and is now registered as Golf Charlie Juliet Whiskey Oscar, and is undergoing a meticulous restoration to airworthy condition. So eventually, if we're lucky, we will get a chance to see Bravo Lima 688 fly again. Wouldn't that be marvelous?
It would be marvelous for sure.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, that was almost as long as a plane tail.
Oh, God, no, please. Hold me back.
All right, very good. 688. Okay, this is 688 part 2. And AJ and Dr. Steph have departed. They're still living. They're still living, but they're just not with us anymore on the show. Yeah.
Have you heard from them today?
This is a day later. We're recording on Friday now, the 12th of December. And we've been joined now by the very noteworthy Captain Nick Anderson. Esteemed, yes. Very, very good
steaming
adjective.
Captain.
Yeah. Anyway, so what we decided we're going to do, that we're going to hit another couple of news items, get caught up with Captain Nick and myself, and then hit some feedback, hopefully, and then we'll end the show. So, you ready to start with the first news item for part 2?
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to add this to the stage. We've got some video here. Let's see. This is from the Aviation Herald, and actually... well, who sent this in to us, Liz? It says it's like a feedback thing. Hi, Jeff, Liz, and all.
Derek Ralston.
Oh, okay. Where do you see that? I don't even see that.
In between the pictures. Underneath the video.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Derek. All right. So Derek sent this in, this YouTube video. And so let me hit the play button here. And we can watch together. Yeah, you'll remember this WestJet Boeing 737-800 was landing at St. Martin on September 7th, 2025, and the left main gear collapsed. And we talked about the preliminary report and the investigation, yada, yada, yada. And
I'm watching that left main gear very closely to see how well they fixed it.
What do you think so far? So far, so good.
It hasn't fallen off or anything. Oh.
Oh, that's true. Haven't thought of that. So let's keep a close eye on this as they begin their takeoff roll in St. Martin. This is a test flight that we're watching, and we won't watch the entire thing because it'll take too much of our time. But anyway, so there they go. But yeah, so that was like little over 3 months. That was pretty quick for them to make this repair, and looks like it's back in service. So, and there it goes. It's lifting off.
Now, will it retract? Is the next question. Hey, look at that.
Looks like it's retracted. Both engines are still running. That's good.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well done, boys. Well done,
right.
Canadian engineers. Good job.
Yep. Very nice. And it flies off into the sunset. There we go. So thank you, Derek, for sending that in to give us an update on that WestJet 737. So, hey, some good news to start off with.
I know, it's pretty rare, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Let's take this next news item, and I'm going to hand it off. I'm going to give aircraft control to Captain Nick because this one is just baffling to me. Okay.
It's baffling me too. We were commenting just a little while ago in the preamble before we started the show how hard it is to keep your head around exactly how everything on a complicated airliner like an Airbus or a Mad Dog works, and how quickly it all drops out from your head. So I'm finding this particular story difficult to fathom, but I think partly because there were some awful decisions and actions taken by the crew. Yeah. So what have we got? We've got an Arabia Maroc A320 at Catania, yes, on the 20th of September, 25. Registration, Charlie November Mike Lima, performing flight 3 Oscar 991 to Amman in Jordan. Had 4 crew and was departing on runway 8 when shortly after takeoff, the crew received a GPS pull-up message about 1.9 miles past the end of the runway. And the aircraft climbed through 500 feet and continued on without further incident. However, an awful lot happened in that first 500 feet, including the fact that they very nearly didn't get anywhere near 500 feet. Okay, so they got this ground proximity warning message. And so according to the ADS-B data, the aircraft initially climbed to about 350 feet and about 0.3 of a mile past the runway. And when it descended to about 230 feet, now that is obviously plus or minus about 25 feet from ADS-B. So what was going on? Italy's ANSV released a preliminary report summarizing the sequence of events. And this is because it's, just there in plain data, no explanations. This is where I struggled a bit to work out what was going on. So what can we say? What can we pluck from this? The aircraft was on a positioning flight, took off. Shortly after, it began to descend and the GPWS was triggered. The aircraft trajectory was recovered when it was close to the sea surface. So I think they mean that the crew pulled out of a descent when it was close to the sea surface, and the minimum recorded radio altitude was 41 feet.
Could you repeat that again?
41 feet, 12 and a half meters. That's how close it got to the sea. So you're going, what on earth was going on? And I'm struggling here to make sense of exactly what happened. So the aircraft was lined up for takeoff, and the data allowed to establish the pilot in command, that's the bloke with 4 stripes on his shoulder, was the pilot flying. Now, both flight directors were engaged, but there were no associated modes on the FMA, the annunciator that indicates where all the modes are. And it's one of the things you read out all the time in Airbuses. Whenever there's a mode change, you read out that top line on your primary display so that everyone knows what mode. And it's very important in an aircraft like the Airbus, where the different flight modes really do define what the aircraft is going to do. They mentioned that it was doing config 1+F takeoff, which is probably the minimum flap setting you would use. And the center of gravity was 24.8. Doesn't mean anything much to me. It's a 320. I didn't fly them anyway, but that's just a number. And the stab position, so the trim position, was -0.8 nose up. Now, the thrust levers were moved initially to flex. Now, what is interesting... Oh, I missed out a bit there. The takeoff speeds, McDo entries, are not included in the recorded parameters. And I think that's quite important because I think we are about to find out that they hadn't bothered to enter any numbers in the takeoff numbers. They probably calculated them, but they didn't put them in the box, or perhaps they
It's just a
thought they'd
positioning
wing it.
flight. It doesn't matter.
Don't need to worry about all those formalities.
No.
So they initially moved the thrust levers to flex, but I suspect because they hadn't entered a flex temperature, I don't know this for sure because we haven't got all the data, the aircraft would have gone, I don't have any data. Don't just put the throttles to flex because you haven't told me what flex temperature to use. So it would have come up with a warning. So at about 50 knots, the captain pushed them all the way up to Toga. So at least he knew he was getting enough thrust to take off. So that's fine. And the flight directors went into runway mode. All that means is they're just going to be doing runway heading. SRS, which is the mode which gives you the pitch for your takeoff, was not engaged, and auto thrust was not armed because I don't think there was any data for the automatics to use. Anyway, during the takeoff run, between sort of quite low speeds, 127 and 144 knots, while no side stick input was put in by the captain, but the nose landing gear uncompressed twice. Now, this indicates to me that the nose is trying to lift off, which also indicates to me that if there's no input from the stick, you've got a rather weird, you must have a slightly incorrect trim setting. And I think they had the trim set to nose up because the airplane's trying to lift its nose well before normal rotate speed. So I'm going, I wonder if they've done their trim calculations correctly. Anyway, they initiated
Or
a
if they've done
rotation.
At all.
Don't know. I don't know. But we're getting the feeling now that this was a bit of an ad hoc takeoff. And it's just not something you can do on an airplane like the Airbus. You just can't climb in and wing it. It just doesn't work that way. So they rotated 144 knots and lifted off at 157. That's pretty good. Pitch initially +7. Well, we normally go smoothly within 3 seconds all the way up to about 12 degrees, but they didn't quite get there. Yes, the airspeed was increasing, so they got 167 knots, and they're flying now at 37 feet. They whack the gear up. Now, what is quite interesting is that there's no data for the aircraft to follow. No data for the autopilot to follow, no data for the flight directors to follow. So they're just climbing away at about 1,500 feet a minute, which is okay, that's fine. And the lateral mode changes from runway to nav, but I don't know if they've actually got any navigation to follow.
They probably didn't put anything in that either. So they're continuing to climb up. They're in vertical speed, which is an unusual mode. Normally you'd be in climb mode once you've done thrust reduction after takeoff. But they're in vertical speed because the airplane doesn't really know what else to do. They eventually pitch up to a maximum of 11 degrees. And the side stick input at the time was increased then to 9 degrees pitch down. Now I'm going, what the devil is going on? They're climbing away. They're not that high. And the captain's gone pitch down to 9 degrees pitch down. How high above the ground was he at that point?
Well, that's a good question. I haven't quite...
123 feet.
Oh, my
RA.
God. Yeah, that's pretty awful. Okay, but it... oh, yeah, there it is. RA, 123 feet. Anyway, right, as they, it says now, we've magically moved forward now to 309 feet RA, and they're doing 188 knots, and they're back to a positive climb now at 1,400 feet a minute. And pitch 7 degrees down was commanded from the captain's side stick. So I don't know if he's doing this. I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing.
Something flip. We talked about that bit flip thing in a previous episode. Maybe his brain is doing a bit flip.
Oh, yeah, perhaps it's all the solar
Everything's
radiation
opposite.
coming down on his head.
Yeah.
So they've got up to about 200 knots now. They're kind of more or less level. They're cleaning the aircraft up, while pitch down command of 7.2 degrees was still observed on the captain's side stick. Very odd. So they're still accelerating, still descending now at 1,200 feet a minute. And the pitch down command still observed on the captain's side stick. So they eventually end up with a vertical speed target of 1,900 feet a minute going down, and then 2,064 feet a minute going down. And during the time frame, Autopilot 1 was engaged. So they've put an autopilot in. Now, if you had told the autopilot what you wanted to do, it'll just carry on doing where you left it, if you haven't got a profile in there. So the autopilot is going to continue to make the airplane descend at this point if you engage it, because you were descending when you gave it control. The vertical speed goes to minus 2,320, and the speed rises to 230 knots. They do a thrust reduction. And at that point, someone pulls the throttles back from toga into a position behind. Well, there are sort of some fixed positions for the throttles in an Airbus. There's the one all the way forward, which is toga. Then there's flex MCT. Then there's climb. And then if you come all the way back, there's idle. And they pulled it between idle and climb for 1 second, and then whacked it back up to toga again.
It was like their brain is going, oh, we're going too fast. So here, let me pull the power back. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know why we're going fast. It's because we're going downhill, down toward the water.
Indeed. Having said that, there are some modes which can be reset by doing that throttle action, by pulling the throttles back and back to toga again. So perhaps that was in his mind. Needless to say, they were still going down. They've still got this horrendous rate of descent. I'm going, what is going on? Don't forget, this happened in sort of only a couple of miles of forward travel. This is all happening very quickly. They got to 162 feet on the radio altimeter. Toga was applied. They were now nearly 250 knots. And the VS minus 2,400. This is just a litany of what the hell is going on. They then get a GPWS parameter triggered for 4 seconds. The speed was nearly 270 knots. Vertical speed now only minus 544. Pitch 7 degrees. Momentary pitch down followed by a pitch up command observed from the captain's side stick. I've no idea why he had been pitching down, but at last he's decided it's time to get away from the water.
Good idea.
Yep. The speed is still a bit out of control, and the pitch up was observed from the captain's side stick, and he went 2/3 of full deflection, which, fair enough, but considering we know they got to 41 feet from the water, I think it might have had full backstick, but there you go. We're kind of running out of data here, because now they got down to their 41 feet. at 21:57 and 19 seconds. And the pitch up command was observed from the captain's side stick to 8.6 degrees, so at 41 feet. They got themselves into a climb, auto thrust and open climb mode were engaged at 700 odd feet. And they got a vertical speed of plus 5,800 feet a minute, because I think they frightened themselves and now decided to go up very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a lot of energy to work with, a lot of speed.
Indeed. They had plenty of speed, yeah. We note here, the final note, which I think is kind of amusing, the cockpit voice recorder was overwritten.
Yeah. Maybe nobody will know.
I'd love to know what they were discussing at the time of all this going on. So
the weather was very nice, Cav okay.
Yeah, it was.
23C, very light winds, 3 knots,
Yeah.
and it was dark. So maybe if they had a way to see the ground and the water in front of them, they would have been more
I think
proactive.
you're right. Yeah, because the runway has only got a couple of miles by the looks of it before you hit the beach, and then it's just ocean. So once they're over there, it's kind of we've fallen into the black hole, and that is a phenomena we're familiar with, the black hole effect, and it's common for airfields that have runways that go straight over the sea, and it's one area where it would be sensible for a captain to mention it in his threat and error briefing, because it's a known phenomena that people, when they fly into a black hole, there's just no visual references. And don't forget, you've had visual references on the airfield and, leading up to the beach, because there are lights on the ground and lights on the runway, and you can interpret that. But all of a sudden, bang, you're into blackness, and you've really got to be on your instruments. In fact, you've got to transition to instruments just before you lose all those visual references, because you don't want to be lured into an illusionary disorientation effect. Perhaps that is what happened. I don't know. Yes, sir.
At this, let me give you a little bit of the schedule, the time, the chronological. What this took place. I should have gotten more sleep last night. I can't speak. So from the time that they moved the throttles initially, or the thrust levers initially, to flex, that was 21:56 and 28 seconds. The moment at which they finally got the airplane going in the proper direction, away from Earth and the water, at 41 feet, and got the auto thrust and climb mode engaged, etc., and the good vertical speed of 5,800 feet per minute, was 21:57:29. So almost exactly 1 minute elapsed between the time they started their takeoff roll and all that stuff happened.
Wow.
And,
60 seconds, golly, yes.
Yeah, that's mind-boggling to me. And it's really kind of a miracle, I think, that we're not talking about this A320 that crashed into the water off of Catania.
Yeah, exactly right. Who's going to do it? The Italians? They're probably going to give a good final report. No, that'd probably be quite scathing then.
Wow, that was quite something. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like to,
interesting, isn't it? How easy it all starts to unravel when you're not really prepared, and you've perhaps skimped a bit on your pre-flight preparation, because it's only a positioning flight. You don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah, they don't really talk about, at least what we're looking at here. I haven't actually read the actual preliminary report and the sequence of events, but I'm wondering what human factors are involved here before all of this. Why are they so rushed? Why did they not make sure that all the proper data was, inputted into all these systems? It almost feels like, oh, let's get going. We got to go. We have a time pressure on us right now, so don't worry about that stuff. This is an Airbus. You just, it'll fly. It won't let us crash. But you know what? That Airbus just about let them crash.
Oh, yeah. It will do if you ignore
I
it.
know it's not completely foolproof.
Good Lord, no.
So
No, it's an airplane. You still got to fly the damn thing.
right, amazing.
Interesting.
Well, thank you, Captain Nick, for taking that one on. All right, H. Oh boy. Well, this is kind of a sad story. Oh, this is from defense-blog.com. A fatal ejection incident on Russian airbase leaves 2 dead. The key points here: a Russian bomber pilot and navigator were killed when an ejection system activated while the aircraft was parked. Let's see, the government commission is investigating. They did not identify the aircraft type or the base. Now, when I saw this story originally, they showed a Russian fighter bomber, purportedly the Su-34, kind of parked in one of those, in those shelters. But in this report, it really doesn't. Oh no! Wait a minute. No, it was. It was parked in the shelter. Never mind. Let me read this next paragraph. 2 Russian military airmen were killed in an incident involving the unexpected activation of an ejection system while their aircraft was parked in a shelter. That's not good. These are very complicated, sophisticated, smart ejection seat systems in modern fighter bomber aircraft, but they can't do anything when they're set off and you're like in a shelter. I mean, there's nothing they could possibly do to avoid hitting, right, the ceiling of this thing.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, on purpose, ejector seats are relatively simple mechanically compared with they don't have a lot of sophisticated electronics and protections and all this stuff. They're called a bang seat for a very good reason. You pull the lever and it goes bang, and that's just about all you need to worry about. There are more advanced ones, like the Aces 2 seat, which does have gyroscopes and electronic sensors. It's got pitot tubes and things to assess the conditions that you need so that it can deploy its parachutes and stuff at the correct moment. But Martin Baker, for example, who are by far the biggest manufacturer of ejector seats, still rely on the very basic technology. And I say basic, not that it's simple, it's just that it's incredibly reliable, and that's really all you want out of an ejector seat. They don't have anything fancy to orientate the seat going up. They just rely on a rocket or a gun to fire you out of the cockpit, a rocket to assist you clear, and a parachute system that deploys very quickly to ensure that you separate and then come down safely, even if you've ejected very close to the ground. But it won't save you if you're inside a concrete shelter. If you fire the damn thing, you're going to go smack into the roof. Or if you're inverted at, as very sadly some Harrier pilots in the early days found, if you've lost control of your aircraft, you try and eject, it will fire you straight into the ground.
Yikes.
Which is what happened here.
Very sad. Very sad. Not the first time that they've had accidental firings of ejection systems, but in most cases, there's not a roof over your head to impede your progress flying upward.
No, that's exactly right. But of course, most ejector seats have got multiple ways of safing them up. So, you've normally got pins or some kind of mechanical interlock in the firing handle to prevent it from being pulled. And then there are other pins that can be put in the sears that activate things like the gun and other explosive components to prevent them firing. So one of the things you do before you take off is make sure all those pins are removed so that when you finally make the seat live, it's going to work. But on the other hand, whenever you're in a maintenance situation or inside a hangar, you make sure that you've got the seat safe so that, this kind of accident can't happen.
I'm afraid that we're probably never going to know exactly what happened in this case. They're not even telling us what base and what aircraft. So, yeah, sad story. Okay, on a lighter note, we're going to end our news segment for this part 2 with this from Paddle Your Own Canoe. Yay! It's been a while since we've heard from Matuz Mazinski. Anyway, so, imagine yourself, you're at the grocery store and you've got a whole, shopping basket full of food and they're checking everything out and it's taking a while because you got a lot of stuff. And then it comes time for you to pay. And then you realize, uh-oh, I don't have my wallet with me. Or maybe you have your wallet and the only credit card you have for some reason is just not working and you don't have any cash. And so what do? Well, I don't know, maybe call in a bomb threat to the store? Would that be a reasonable thing to do? Well, okay, so let's take this into the aviation world and New Orleans airport. It is an aviation podcast, yes. So 35-year-old Corey Johnson from Louisiana was arrested on November 7 following a swift investigation by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, who had already been dealing with Johnson due to an earlier disturbance in the short-stay parking garage at MSY Airport, Mossant. New Orleans International. According to an FBI affidavit filed in a Louisiana courthouse, Johnson, this dude, tried to leave the short-stay parking garage at around 7:48 p.m. in his Jeep Grand Cherokee, but his payment card bounced.
Oh, it's a Jeep driver. That's
yeah,
the
no,
problem.
it's too bad we don't have Steph with us to defend
Yeah,
this guy.
yeah, we could have some fun, couldn't we?
Yeah. So his payment card, it wasn't a Wrangler though, in her defense. It was a Cherokee,
okay.
a Grand Cherokee, which is a very nice vehicle actually. So his payment card bounced. He didn't have any other means to pay the fee. So law enforcement, is called and he's like blocking the exit lane. I mean, he's not moving. And all these people he's blocking everybody from exiting the parking garage because he doesn't have any way of paying for his parking fees. And so finally, I guess somebody convinced him to get out of the exit lane and move to the top level of this parking garage, where he was going to come up with an alternative method to pay his parking fees. And then he thought, wait a minute, I have an idea. He called the airport communication center and made a bomb threat telling the operator, "Page Hassan. If you do not page him, we have the bomb." He then repeated, "We have the bomb if you do not page him," before he disconnected the call. And that was at 9:50. At 10:35, so not quite an hour later, he placed a second call. I guess he wasn't getting the response he had expected. And he said on this occasion, he threatened the operator, telling her, "Didn't I tell you, you stupid I will cut your throat?"
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And then he then said, "Page Hassan, I want him to bring the bomb to level 3. Okay. So sheriff's deputies initiated an emergency ping of the cell phone used to make both calls, which revealed that the location of the phone was near the north terminal at Mossant, New Orleans. The cell phone number was linked to him. And so they took him into custody. And he could face a maximum penalty of 10 years imprisonment, along with a fine of up to $250,000, 3 years of supervised release, and a $100 mandatory special assessment fee. Okay, so I guess he was thinking that, if they really think that there's a bomb threat in the terminal, they're going to have an emergency evacuation.
Yeah.
They're going to open up all the doors and the
I
parking
could just
lots.
drive away.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking this through, I think, to its conclusion. But
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, let's get to know Captain Nick and Captain Jeff. Captain Nick.
Why don't you go first, old chap?
I'll go first then. All right. So let's see. First thing I want to do is, we always say our goal here is 50% accuracy. That's the goal that we're shooting for. Sometimes we hit it, sometimes we get above, sometimes we get below. On a couple, maybe it was the last episode. Yeah, the last episode, I was talking about those Jeppesen pages, which now aren't really pages anymore. It's all electronic, but the paper pages and the paper color of these special pages, we called them. And I was trying to explain all about that, and UH Blackhawk said the 10-7 pages, and I went, no, that's not what those are. And then when I was doing the editing, I went, oh yeah, he's right. That is what they are. They're the 10-7 pages. So I just wanted to give UH Blackhawk some credit that he was right, 10-7. So just wanted to put that on the record there. Our official APG announcer at the beginning of each and every episode, Radio Roger, sometimes also contributes in other ways, and he sometimes sends us some feedback. And he said, hello, fellow crew members. Miss being in contact with you. Just found the perfect excuse for writing 2 unusual photos. Every so often, the meteorological conditions are right for the formation of contrails at an altitude used by many planes, and the wind is light, so the contrails do not disperse. We had such a day recently, and it was beautiful. Maybe we can post it in the next podcast. Yep, that's what we're doing, Roger. So Liz is showing the photos, and we'll have these in the show notes as well. Yeah, I love those days where you look up, you have a beautiful clear blue sky, and then you see all those contrails up in the... Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I don't know. Are those actually nature's clouds? Some people say natural, but I say natural.
The short duration ones, the short fat ones, they looked to me like Altocumulus lenticularis. What do you think, Jeff?
They do have that appearance for sure.
Yeah.
I guess it's possible those could be contrails too, and then they're at an altitude where the winds are a little bit stronger and kind of diffusing the contrails, and maybe the atmosphere is a little spotty. Yeah.
When I was chatting to Roger about it, and I did have the caveat that it's a little hard to tell from the photographs if you were there. But there are a lot of persistent trails, and there seem to be... Oh, that's rather clever, that. Yeah, there's a nice one that has a nice right angle in it. And then the bloke dives into the ground and crashes, presumably.
Oh, shoot.
But...
Perhaps we shouldn't be showing that one.
No, probably not. But
yeah,
the little short ones, they do look like because they're lens-like. Now, lenticular clouds are formed. Any true aviator will know this by undulating airflow. So when you get a wave effect, as the airflow goes up and down, as it goes up, it cools, and you'll get clouds forming, and because of the shape of the air, the shape of the air sounds odd, because the air is like a wave, the cloud follows the sort of form of the undulation and makes this lens shape. It's quite a pretty piece of cloud. And then as it descends back down again, of course, it warms up and the cloud stops. So you get these often circular but lens-shaped clouds called lenticular clouds. That's what they reminded me of. So I don't know if I'm right or not, but well, we will never know because other than looking at the picture. Well, I am a cloud expert, I'm sorry. You mean another cloud expert?
Or I thought you were a clown expert, not cloud expert.
That too,
okay.
Yes.
There you go. Maybe, yeah.
It's just they seem to be vaguely in line, which is what you get when you get mountain waves. I don't know if there are any mountains around or hills that would cause that, but they can, of course, depending on the conditions of the temperatures of the airflow, they can happen and carry on for hundreds of miles beyond a mountain range, still producing this up-down effect. And as aviators, we're always aware of them because If the mountain wave is severe enough, it'll cause you a lot of turbulence, make the aircraft climb and descend in that airflow, which may not be what you want to do. You could end up going up and down. So we, treat those clouds with interest. Oh yes, there's some wave down there.
In line, did you say? I mean, what in the world does Captain Nick Anderson know about anything in line? I mean, you're always out of line. That's what you're an expert in.
That's me personally. Now, the clouds, on the other hand, are better disciplined than I am.
Ah, okay.
But there are certainly some contrails, or perhaps they're chemtrails, I'm not sure, in amongst
Could be
them.
chemtrails.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, the next thing I want to do is say, the hills are alight with the sound of music.
Beautiful, isn't it? What a voice. Julie
Well, I don't know
Andrews
about
would have
that.
been proud of a voice like that.
Well, I doubt it. But yeah, Julie, I didn't realize that Julie smoked so much. We're talking, of course, about our show cover art from the last episode, 687. And this is pretty amazing. So I'm going to hand it off to you again to explain, give us some context here.
Well, we had some great ideas. Carry on APG. We were talking about Sond balloons and cigarette smuggling, which is how this title came along. But in addition,
Latvia.
there was the APG Gourmet edition, where we'd be talking about AJ's lovely cooking, Balloon Pilot Guy show, no more balloons, no more balloons. But basically, we ended up with balloons and Sond and cigarette smuggling, which they have been smuggling using balloons, which I thought was great. So we got this lovely. I had this lovely picture in my mind of Maria there singing away in the mountains, watching her cigarettes flying away.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So she's having a. No, someone suggested that she may not be smoking tobacco, and I was going, well, come on, yeah, a nun. Even, I think the nuns generally smoked tobacco back in the 50s. So we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She's just having a quick, Oh, it's great fond, isn't it? I found that online. Thank you very much indeed for whoever did that. And we were talking about Sond balloons. Now, on the packing cases, I put some rather old-fashioned adverts for various cigarettes. But this picture we've gone to now shows us where the show number was. It's on 3 of the balloons, 6, 8, and 7. So it's a little balloon. That's the 8. There's the 7, there's the 6. 6, 8, 7. So that's where the show number was hidden on some of the balloons. And I used the same font as I did for the title. Now, the show logo is on that balloon there above the H for hills. Excuse me. And we just need to find the penguin. So the jackass was being a jackass. And for some reason, Maria is using a little wicker basket to put her cigarette ash. We call them fags in the UK. Used to, anyway. So cigarette ash in, and that sadly is where the jackass is sitting. He's sitting inside the trash bin that Maria is using.
He gets no respect.
No, exactly.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, we were talking about the Latvian smuggling cigarettes into Belarus or the other way around. I can't remember. It seems a little counterproductive to me to have advertising on the boxes of the items you're trying to smuggle. I guess they're not very smart over there.
No. I mean, they're using balloons for a start. So they could have gone anywhere. As we know, balloons are completely random in the way they fly. So
I love
the
it.
only
Nice
control
touch,
they
though.
have over them is to go up or down.
Yeah.
Although
Wherever the
some
wind
balloon
blows.
pilots claim to be able to maneuver into the airflows, guide themselves doing that.
Yeah, one of your best art
Thank
productions.
you,
Thank you.
thank you for AI.
Yeah.
Although there's
Okay.
an awful lot of work involved. For example, in the AI didn't put much smoke in there, so I had to add the smoke that Maria is blowing out.
How many fingers
And-
did Maria have?
Oh, yeah, she had a bunch of fun. Well, her hand, particularly her right hand, was incredibly large. And there was a very odd-looking finger sticking out of her left hand. So all that had to be altered.
Yeah.
But she looks all
You're
right
getting
now.
really good at that. Fixing the fingers and AI.
Yeah, well, I have to, because AI just has no idea what a hand is.
As I said, when AI takes over the world, you'll know the ones that are not human, because they're going to have many, many, many more fingers than a normal human has. I guess.
Yes,
I don't know.
indeed, indeed. Oh, good fun.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about in your?
Only to say that I apologize if I get a bit grumpy or rub my shoulder. I've had to go and see physio today. I've got a very badly strained right shoulder, and the physio has told me to rest it completely for several weeks in the hope that the pain goes away, which is at the moment radiating up into my skull, down into my back, going down into my arm. It's just horrid. So, yeah, not
Are you
good.
going to comply with the doctor's advice?
Yeah, I'm suspending all my pétanque matches for the distant future, or the near future, anyway. I may not be playing bowls this next year. It doesn't start till sort of April, May time, but I may going pétanque full time. It depends.
Oh.
Yes, I won't be able to do both. I don't think, because they're both very
Do they have
time consuming.
a traveling pétanque league where you could
Yeah,
travel
yeah,
all across the world?
absolutely. Yeah, there's the Southern. Not necessarily across the world. I don't think pétanque is played in that many countries. Probably all the French colonies. They probably play pétanque. But yeah,
Gotcha.
indeed.
Interesting.
And there are enough clubs in the UK for us to run leagues and go and visit other clubs and things.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I think we can knock out a little bit of feedback here. 3, 5, and 7. I think is a section. Okay. All right. So let's. Oh, okay. I need to get some video ready, and this was sent in to us from Metro Doc Ernest, and he was with us. Was he with us today, or only in part 1? Okay, he's here in. Oh, there he is! Yay! That's right. Thank you.
Right there.
So he sent us. Let me go back to his feedback here. It just says the name of his feedback or his subject: "Waiver be damned," and like, what the heck is he talking about here? So let's watch this video together, shall we? Are you ready, Liz? Okay. From Bass Aviation, Real Aviation Communications. Oh wait, hang on. I'm trying to find the
05
window.
Hotel, you can, or the Christian 55 Hotel, you can fly westbound for 2 miles in northwest.
Westbound for 2 miles on Northwest Station, Air 55 Hotel, thank you.
Cool. Very fast speaker.
Citation 18 Kilo, maintain 10,000. There's going to be a flight of 4 F-35s at 9,500.
Looking in 10-5 to 10. 1 kilo, thanks.
Yes.
1035's in sight, 1 kilo.
Say again?
We got the fast movers in sight, 1 kilo.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So
118 Kilo, I'm sorry. Did you say you saw the airport or the F-35?
yeah,
We
confused.
got the F-35's in sight, 1 kilo.
118
That's
Kilo,
what
thank you.
You know, that's what happens when you try to use like fancy
Fancy.
Denver
lingo.
approach
Yeah,
Station
yeah.
Air 2255 Hotel, VFR request. Unable.
in sight for 1 Kilo, 1 help.
1 Kilo, thank you. I'm going to have lower once I make sure those F-35s aren't going to pop back up in your face.
No problem, appreciate it, 1 Kilo.
Pop
Okay,
in
I
your
gotta pause
face.
for a
That sounds
yeah.
nasty.
Yeah, it does. What I meant to do, let's see, what's 121 mark. Okay. So let me, and I'll have to do some post editing here to get this all in the right order. What I planned to do was to read this at the very beginning of the video. This was at Empower Field, Mile High. Well, I think they used to call it Mile High Stadium. Maybe they still do, in Denver, Colorado. It was a National Football League football game, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos on November 16th. Okay, and when they have these games, they usually put out these temporary flight restrictions, TFRs. I think that's what that stands for. An area that, like when the president or any, VIPs go anywhere, they sometimes have these TFRs so that people stay away from, these areas with these very important people or very important football players. And so that's what they've established here from the surface up to 3,000 feet above the ground over Mile High Stadium, or Empower Field now it's called. And so the video starts off with, or one of the things it starts off with is an airplane requesting a clearance to proceed over to this TFR in their airspace and get flight following. And then we will hear them be denied. Okay, so now it's a general aviation plane. And so now I'm going to go back to where we were. And, okay, here we go.
One 8 Kilo, descend to maintain 9,000. There's traffic 12 o'clock, 4 miles. They're westbound at 8,000 indicated. Those F-35s are 12 o'clock, 8 miles. They are eastbound, 7,500.
We got them in sight visually, 1 Kilo, down to 9,000, 1 Kilo.
Okay, let me hit pause here. November 2255 Hotel is a Cessna T-206 stationaire performing aerial camera work for the Denver Broncos Kansas City Chiefs. The aircraft had carried out the same mission earlier that afternoon, orbiting the stadium for 2 hours. At this time on video, formation of 4 F-35s is holding 15 miles south of the stadium, awaiting for a flyby after the national anthem. Okay, so a lot of these games, they'll play and sing the national anthem, and then just at the right moment, at the very end, the formation flight flies by, and it's a very exciting thing. Okay, so that's what these F-35s are planning on doing, except for we have this November 2255 Hotel, the Cessna 206, up there doing some aerial camera work. And so that's the conflict. So let's continue now. Okay. We'll cut this out.
Top Hat 1, Denver, hello. There's traffic 12 o'clock, about a mile, northeastbound 9,500 indicated.
Okay, Top Hat is the F-35s, and we're not hearing them at all because I think they're using a UHF frequency that's not recorded on liveatc.net.
118 Kilo, that traffic's not a factor. Descend to maintain 8,000.
8,000, 1 Kilo.
Top Hat 1, if you could maintain VFR at or below 8,500 for me, that'd be great. And then if you need higher or whatever, let me know. Top Hat 1, Roger. There is traffic over the stadium. Call sign 2255 Hotel at 7,400 indicated on a 1200 code. We're not talking to them. Maybe they don't know the Bravo or the thing is on.
Station Air 2255 Hotel, we did try to call you. You said unable for flight following.
2255 Hotel, that's okay, but that doesn't mean you can go into the TFR that goes up to 8,300 feet, and you're in it at 7,400 feet. So, like, that's not okay. So you need to exit because 4 F-35s are going in.
I do have a waiver to be in the TFR. I'm here on a job. If I need to move for the F-15s, I can.
Being at work does not mean you can just go into a TFR. You need to exit to the west.
I'll exit to the west, Stationair 55 Hotel.
Departure Gaslight 800 is 8,000 feet runway heading.
Gaslight 800, Denver departure. Hello, radar contact. Turn left heading 110.
Left heading 110 for Gaslight 800.
Falcon 33 Alpha, turn right heading 080. Airport's off the right on about 5 miles.
280. 080, got the airport inside 23 Alpha.
55 Hotel, I need you to exit faster. I have 4 F-35s 15 miles south of the airport, or south of the stadium at 400 knots.
We're heading westbound, Stationair 55 Hotel.
Okay, great. For 2255 Hotel, be advised of a possible pilot deviation. Advise you call Denver Tracon at, let me know when you're ready for the phone number.
We're ready to copy, Stationair 55 Hotel.
303-342.
5309.
303-342.
She gave her plenty of warning.
Stationair 55 Hotel.
She just kept going around and around in circles.
Top Hat 1, is there an advisory frequency that you want to be on, or like what's your plan when you're done with the stadium?
Okay, those are the F-35s again.
Top Hat 1, okay, in that case, change to advisory frequency approved. When you're done, you can contact Buckley Tower directly.
Stationair 2255 Hotel, are we going to be able to be over the stadium at all?
55 Hotel, stand by. We'll get back to you in a couple minutes.
Okay, there's a inset video here on the Bass Aviation video of the F-35s flying over the top of the stadium. Very cool.
Top Hat 1, thanks. Buckley Tower, have a great day.
Okay, they're going back to Buckley.
And F55 Hotel, you're going to be unable to enter the TFR at this time. You got to go on the ground and contact us. I guess there's an issue. They deviated you. I'm not sure what's going on, but you're going to have to talk to Soup about what you want to do in there.
Okay, I mean, we do have a waiver. I did call someone this morning to get permission to be there, so I can go back to Centennial and call again.
Yeah, when you get permission to go in there, you still need to call us to get clearance into it, which you didn't do, so that's why you got deviated. So you got to go back to Centennial, and you got to go on the ground and call the Soup, and then we'll sort it out.
Okay, thank you.
Not happy.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Okay, thank you. And let's see, the Stationair November 2255 Hotel returned to Centennial and departed 30 minutes later for nearly 3 hours over the stadium. So I think in this case it was just an instance of misunderstanding what it means to have a waiver to go into the TFR, and the fact that you, even if you're given a waiver to and permission to go in it, you have to actually receive real-time permission from air traffic control before you actually proceed. And I think that might be what the misunderstanding was. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I don't suppose she got into a lot of trouble once everything was made clear. Yeah.
Apparently, things got a little ironed out there because she was allowed to return and do some more aerial photography work. So, yeah.
One of the most important things here is to keep your cool, do what air traffic want, and be polite because it just helps smooth the waters. So when you make that phone call, you're much more likely to get a good result at the end of it.
It was almost as if like she tried to get permission to do what she wanted to do, and then she was kind of put off by the controller saying, stand by or unable. Yeah. And then she probably thought to herself, okay, well, no problem. I'm going to go anyway because I have a waiver.
Yeah, she called for flight following, and the controller was a bit busy and wasn't able to give flight following. She didn't really make it clear that she wanted to enter the TFR to do filming that she had a waiver for.
Yet another example of communication or lack thereof.
Yeah.
You know, if they better communication, it would have had a happier outcome, I think. Hang on. Let me get my window up. Main Marin said she was no match for the F-35s. Yeah, those F-35s are quite a bit bigger and faster.
Yeah, they've got lots of guns and missiles.
Yeah.
Which I don't think those Cessnas have. They don't have a lot of guns and missiles.
Unless it's some special one. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Steph.
Yeah, Dr. Steph's does, yeah.
Yeah, well, she can throw all sorts of things at them.
Yeah. Okay, we just did 3, right? Okay, so number 7. Oh, okay. So let's, and then we'll wrap it up after this one, you're thinking? All right. Okay, well, I think we're able to squeeze one more piece of feedback before we end this episode, and this is from Grant, our good friend Grant down under, Grant McCarran. The dreaded ATSB report showing 10% more likely for balloons. Okay, here's Grant. Hey-o. Back in APG 686, my sister's a bassoon. As soon as you mentioned...
Still makes me laugh. Yeah.
Well, according to Nick, Camacho, his sister is a bassoon. Anyway, as soon as you mentioned, quote, the report and the, quote, 10% more likely bit, I knew exactly what you were talking about. Suffice it to say, I've had a few folks point this out to me, especially those who think the same as your good self regarding hot air balloons. And then a smiley face here. So he's trying to keep it all light and happy. We should add that Grant is a balloonist or a balloonatic or a balloon pilot or whatever, or all of the above, or maybe only some of the above. I'm not sure.
A balloon guidance advisor.
Yeah. While there is some concern regarding the lies, damned lies, and statistics angle for that report, it's interesting to note that you are way more likely to die in a light aircraft or helicopter accident than a ballooning one. And then in parentheses, no deaths in balloons versus many in the others. Funny how that bit wasn't mentioned. Another happy face. Hope all is well for you and Jeff, Liz, and the rest of the APG crew. All right. Let's see. P.S. Oh, this is cool. I'm going to be covering the Singapore Air Show for Australian Defense Magazine and Plane Crazy Down Under. Woohoo. Taking Kit with me, and I've blown almost all my frequent flyer points to get us business class tickets with Singapore Airlines. Ooh, nice airline. Fingers crossed, it all comes together as planned. And he ends with cheers. Grant. Yeah, we definitely want to hear the report from the Singapore Air Show, Grant, and how that went.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Singapore, I think that they've been acknowledged, year after year as the best airline in the entire world, which is pretty amazing. Okay, so
I'm just going to say, the thing the article mentioned that the accident rate was really more like incidents, and usually on landing where people kind of get thrown around or thrown out of the balloon. I mean, not many people get thrown out of airplanes when they're landing, but it's quite a common occurrence in a balloon. You get thrown out of the balloon. So I'm not surprised if you get thrown out of a light aircraft, you might die. So, but you don't seem to die if you get thrown out of a balloon, unless of course it's at altitude.
Yeah, we've covered some of those stories where people
we have.
Yes, have fallen out of balloons or
balloon catching light, and people falling to a fiery death, and getting mixed up with high tension cables, and thousands of volts go zapping through their poor unfortunate bodies, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's enough. Someone get the hook. Pull him off stage.
What is this, Monty Python?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you again, Grant, and please do send some follow-up on your air show in Singapore coverage.
Yeah, are they going to be having any balloons down there, I wonder?
Oh, boy.
You don't see
you
many on
guys-
their shows, do you?
Oh boy. Hey Liz, maybe keep the balloon stuff out of the feedback from now on. Okay.
So I self-generate balloon stories, don't worry.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show, the entire
Oh, like
show.
Christmas.
Yeah, exactly like
Hooray.
Christmas. In fact, if you're watching the chapter images on your podcast player, if it supports that, you'll see that nice gold wrapped package present in your imagery right there. Anyway, so what we like to do is point you over to our website, airlinepilotguy.com, where there's all kinds of information about the crew and the community and the calendar and merchandise and the library, more information about the plane tales, and probably some more stuff there too that I just don't know anything about. Anyway, it's all over there, so check it out. And we're also on social media. Captain Nick.
Yes, we are on Facebook. You just need to do a search for Airline Pilot Guy. That's all one word. If you're an ex-follower, our handle is at APG Crew, and something very similar on Instagram, just APG Crew. And of course, if you enjoy watching and listening to all the faux pas and the ruderies and the mistakes and the lack of recorders and everything else that goes wrong, then go to YouTube and you can see it all being made. YouTube/Airline Pilot Guy.
And you said something about ex-followers, the people that used to follow us, but are no longer. Is that what you mean? Or wait, no. I understand
Ex-followers.
now.
You're
okay.
so funny.
Not really. Okay. And speaking of not funny, we have this dude in my shower yet again. Let's see if he'll tell us a little bit about Slack. Can you tell us about Slack?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
That's fine. Come on over here and tell us all about
APG
it.
listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas, we suggest episode and Plain Tales topics, we plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com. Or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Thanks a lot, Hillel.
I need a towel. I got shampoo in my eyes.
Well, have your wife help you with that. Yeah, see? There we go.
She's laughing at him.
She's I know. She's
That's not
not
nice.
Well, most wives do that kind of thing.
Yeah. We'd also like to thank our producer, Liz,
Hooray!
who's rejoined us here in the
Good
big
job,
picture.
Liz. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for all the
Working
work that
twice
you do
as
behind
hard
the
this
scenes.
week.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
I've got double pay.
Yeah.
And also, we'd like to thank our live audience with the
Oh,
applause,
indeed.
Yeah.
showing up and being a big part
Some
of
of
what
them
we do
here
here
for
each
both
and every week.
parts, which is great.
I know. That's dedication right there.
It
Either
is.
that
I know,
or some
it's
kind
good,
of
isn't it?
mental issue or something.
Yeah. It's called masochism.
Anyway. Yeah, regardless, we're happy to have all of you there, and we'd like to go ahead and wrap this thing up by telling you, wishing you clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care, and God bless.
Ta-ta for now.
See you next time.
All right.
And I think Captain Nick has a show title, so he doesn't need any suggestions, correct?
No,
Captain
no.
Nick? Okay.
If I can make it work, that will be great. Yes, we're going
Alrighty,
to
looking forward to it.
call it Beechcraft Bonanza. Something.
Was Bye Bye Bonanza was
Bye Bye Bonanza.
was
Oh
the
yes, of course. Bye
the
Bye.
suggestion.
Bye,
Bye Bye Bonanza, so like Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah.
So, you know what they were saying was B-U-Y, B-U-Y, bye-bye, Bonanza.
They didn't
but,
say that enough, and so it's
apparently,
now
yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah.
And so they had to stop producing them.
It started as Bye Bye, B-U-I, B-U-I, and then it ended up as B-Y-E, B-Y-E.
B-Y-E, B-Y-E.
Yeah, that was the
No
sound.
bye-bye?
Bye Bonanza.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, exactly.
Yep. Can't wait to do that one. Actually, it looks good.
Woohoo!
I need
All
to
right,
find a picture of
everybody.
a burning bonanza there.
There you go.
Yeah, and a map with the burn
With
hole.
Virginia City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a video. That's the thing. I'm going to have to take a screenshot of the video if I can
Yeah.
get a good enough quality one. Or perhaps AI will remember.
I bet
what it
AI will
looked
generate
like.
one for you.
This is going to be
We'll
interesting.
see.
Yeah,
All right,
I can't
everybody.
wait to see it.
Have a great
Yeah,
weekend.
thanks everybody for hanging out with us on. I don't know why, but it feels like a Saturday to me, but it's only Friday.
Yeah, it's only Friday.
There you go.
Yeah.
You've won a day. You've got
No
a
singing
day in
this
hand
afternoon.
now.
I feel good about that. Yeah. So
Excellent.
See you next
everybody,
week,
thanks,
everybody.
Maine Marin. I'm sorry. Merry Christmas.
Merry
he
Christmas
says.
to you.
Hey,
Indeed.
we should be back next week, which will be what, the week before?
For Christmas. That's
Christmas?
correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we don't know what our plans are yet for the following week. We'll let you know, though.
Yeah.
Are we dressing up next week?
We might.
I don't know.
Yeah, we might. We'll talk about that. We'll have
Yeah,
a
we'll
long
talk
one.
about it.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
See you, everybody.
Cheers, folks.
Bye.